I strongly believe in reproductive rights and bodily autonomy. Many of these beliefs were encouraged through the science fiction and fantasy I read and watched growing up. Some of these stories imagine utopian equality, others, horrific dystopian warnings. Both takes had their impact. Welcome back to Morgan's Writing Tips and Writerly Musings with writing tips from the pros and, of course, my own writerly musings. I'm your host, Morgan Hazelwood, and today I'll be sharing notes from science fiction and reproductive rights, a panel from Worldcon 80, otherwise known as ShyCon 8. The panelists for the titular panel were Amy Sally, Mark Painter, and Valerie Estelle Frankel, and moderated by Kelly Fitzpatrick. The U.S. Supreme Court's overturning of Roe versus Wade has put the battle for reproductive freedom front and center in the national conversation. What kind of insights and inspiration can we gain from science fiction depictions of reproduction? SF's concerns over creating life go back at least to Frankenstein, and many authors over the years have played around with utopian, dystopian, and transformational ideas about reproductive rights and technologies, including cloning, artificial wombs, and different, sometimes alien, approaches to pregnancy, birth, and childcare. We'll discuss our favorite hopeful futures and highlight some strategies and ideas for the ongoing fight. So, first off, how does reproductive freedom work? Well, reproductive freedom is the right to decide when to reproduce and with whom, assuming they're consenting. Obviously, biology and health play a large role in what options are available to each individual, but reproductive freedoms include the right to choose when and how and with whom implantation occurs, the ability to choose to gestate, the ability to choose to raise a child, to choose to birth a child, to choose bodily autonomy. The main discussion giving rights to the unborn started as recently as 1975. Before then, people often waited until after the quickening when you first know you're feeling the baby kick. In earlier times, babies weren't named for the first weeks or even months because so many were lost and labor was so dangerous for both mother and child. These days, we have a lot of intervention options, but despite the perception, there are so many factors in labor that very few can be considered routine and straightforward. Discussions of population control are hard without turning into just another way to control which women are allowed to conceive and which are not. A lot of the current reproductive freedom model puts the majority of the burden on the partner with the womb, despite the side effects most hormonal or even really any birth controls have, and the toll a pregnancy has on a body. Social stigma judges those having sex, those who become pregnant, those who give up their child, those who keep their child that are not prepared to care for, those who have children in daycare, those who choose to stay home and take care of the child. No matter what your choice, society is judging you for doing it wrong. So let's talk about science fiction and fantasy's takes on reproductive freedom. When science fiction and fantasy delve into the realm of reproductive freedom, the end result is usually separating sex from reproduction. By exploring options in a science fiction and fantasy realm, they take reproductive choices out of the current cultural context and allow the reader to experience a mindset regarding reproductive choices taken to the nth degree. Some get it right and some get it wrong. Here are some of the examples from the panelists. In Jacqueline Carey's Kushiel series, sex is seen as a sacred and holy event, but they have 100% effective female birth control. In Lois Bujold's VorKosigan series on Barayar, uterine replicators gestate babies, and humans do not have to go through labor. In John Varley's with a V 8 Worlds series, you can clone yourself and move your consciousness to a new body. We all know my feelings on clones. In Margaret Atwood's The Handmaid's Tale, the few women with reproductive capabilities are commoditized and used as prizes for the politically high ranked. In Orphan Black, the TV show, it explores government-controlled clones. In Ursula LeGuin's The Left Hand of Darkness, the people are ambisexual and have policies regarding leave from work because it's a world where anyone's gender might change with no warning. Becky Chambers' The Long Way to a Small, Angry Planet shares a feel-good tale of nonconformity, gender fluidity, multiculturalism, and unorthodox sexual relations. James Tiptree's Houston, Houston, Do You Read? Short story, astronauts come back to an all-male Earth 300 years later. On the TV shows Witcher and in the Marvel Universe, they both show main female characters doing unreasonable things in the pursuit of motherhood. Let's talk Yennefer and Scarlet Witch. Is motherhood really the only motivation for women? In Star Wars, Padme apparently died of sadness and pregnancy. In Mercedes Lackey's Valdemar series, they have reliable birth control for humans, and Griffin's reproductive activity is wizard controlled, allegedly, so that all the Griffin babies will be wanted and created on purpose. In Octavia Butler's Bloodchild, aliens keep humanity controlled, free to live their lives as long as we play host to their larvae. On Star Trek, they've explored parasitic Gorn eggs that would use humans as hosts and then violently hatch. In The Next Generation, there's an episode where the ship has a baby. On Discovery, they find a sentient AI. And I believe it was DS9 when Miles and Kiko create an embryo. Kira becomes Kiko's surrogate so Kiko can keep her job. The movie 300 shows Sparta's infanticide practice. Sheri S. Tepper's The Gate to Women's Country explores when men are only allowed in on certain days, who's actually controlling who and how. Octavia Butler's Lilith's Brood has tentacled aliens arriving to save humanity and crossbreed with them. And Lois Lowry's The Giver. Designated birth mothers produce new children who are assigned to appropriate family units. Well, those are the examples from the panelists. What other examples are you familiar with? Who gets it right? Who gets it wrong? And who explores new options, be they good, bad, or ugly? As I mentioned earlier, this is a topic that is near and dear to my heart, so dear that my friend Patrick and I do live stream fundraisers for reproductive rights scheduled on alternating Tuesday evenings from 9 to midnight Eastern. We do query rewrites or looks at first pages or synopses. So message me if you're interested in checking that out, and thank you for watching. I'll be back again next week with more writing tips and writerly musings. Bye-bye.